morning, everybody. Cam K here on GeForce TV. After a crazy weekend out in the racing world once again, we have got a very exciting show starting up for you. You see on the screen that Ben Hodgson is ready and willing to go. We're going to get him in just a little bit to talk about this weekend's past action from Peterborough Speedway. Very busy weekend. Even though we still had, unfortunately, two tracks that were not able to get out and run their events due to weather. Always a bummer that what Mother Nature comes in. But good on the tracks to continue to try and get that information out to the teams as quickly as possible, especially for those touring divisions that come from quite a distance away. The other tracks were questionable, but it looked like Peterborough, Flamborough, and Full Throttle did not get any rain, which was awesome. I know there was a hurry up in effect for a lot of those tracks, so very, very solid stuff to see that they got that handled. I did want to provide a little update on Hudson Cellars for those who are tuned in. Hudson Cellars is okay. He has gone through successful surgery. He is missing a little bit of his appendages, a little bit shortened after his accident, but his mom has been in contact with me since the accident, and he's in great spirits, which is excellent. You would never be able to tell that he's gone through a traumatic accident. I think it was more scary for everybody else than for Hudson, and luckily there's some great people in the racing community that are going to help with getting a suit and or some gloves for him, because unfortunately those got cut off and destroyed throughout the accident. So we're going to talk with Ben Hodgson, who is the announcer, one of the announcers at Peterborough Speedway. He's kind of a jack of all trades now. He's not just an announcer. He does a bunch of different things. He'll do announcing. He does social media. He does some TikToks, Instagram reels, making a lot of fun content for the racetrack this year. We'll see how many words he's able to fit into our interview tonight, because that's something else that he's introduced and done that's really fun. And I'm excited to see what he has. He's actually joining us on vacation. He's not actually home, so that's even more of a credit to him wanting to come on and be on the show for a couple of minutes to chat with us tonight. Obviously about all the action that's taken place out at Peterborough Speedway over the last week or so, and he's doing it from, I believe he's in Vancouver right now. I could be wrong, Ben. Are you in Vancouver right now?
We are in Vancouver currently, straight downtown.
Not bad.
Is everything working?
Yeah, it sounds like it's good. I think everybody can hear you. We'll find out if anybody complains in the next couple minutes. But crazy night. I was just mentioning at the top of the show. Obviously, the Bandoleros accident is going to take a little bit more of the storylines, but we got Paul Boundy coming on the show a little bit after to talk about the Superstock races. Quietly have been one of the big stories this year, is the Superstocks have not been dominated by one driver this year. Multiple different names have gotten into victory lane so far this year, Ben.
Yeah, it's been a very competitive series this year. The Gordons have kind of been figuring out their cars again. They were trying some new things, and they're trying to get their cars back to the 2024 type of cars. It's just not working for them this year. Paul Bounty, I mean, a huge win for him. He got one win last year, and to get it halfway point through the season, it's a huge momentum for that team, and to see them all excited in victory lane. They've got a ton of races left in the season. They were second in points coming into that night, so they've got a huge opportunity to take that championship points lead moving forward.
We really don't know as well, like, who it's going to be, because it seems week to week there was not. I thought, tried Strawn 1 week, but now he's got Sinopoli driving for him because he's doing the sport mods. Second time I think we got to see the sports mods out there this year. Very exciting stuff. a little bit of a different look for them, but they've been putting on some good shows. Obviously, their first race, I don't know the official timing, but I think it was the closest finish history,
It
maybe.
it was definitely close. It was 4/1000ths of a second was the difference between JBJ and Chad Strawn coming to the line. It was a door-to-door battle in 3 and 4, and Chad Strawn put everything he had in that 35 on the outside. Got a little loose coming out of 4, which I think a little bit of speed coming to the line, but it's so hard to beat Big Booty Judy and JBJ. I mean, he's so good at Peterborough Speedway, and he adds another one to his resume.
It's definitely going to be something to watch. I like that there's, you know, anytime there's a change in a division, yeah, it's going to get some interest, negative or positive. I really like the looks of these cars now. I can't really say I liked the look of them before. So this is a nice thing, and also it helps because we had a couple of those guys out there running in the super lates as well the week before. So it's cool that they get the opportunity to join in that field, and I think that's something that we should be excited about. Your weekly action, Ben, what caught your eye this past weekend?
Well, obviously, unfortunately, we had that Bando incident with Hudson Sellers. Man, that kid eats his broccoli. I mean, he's such a tough customer, championship Caterpillar driver, and I think he earned a lot of fans that night for sure. And obviously, he's still recovering from that one, but he's going to be in the back of the race car so soon. I can't wait for him to be back out. What a story that will be. I mean, getting back behind the wheel in a junior late model, or even the Bando later in the year. It was a great night. Like, apart from obviously the stuff that happened, the legend cars are just incredible this year. So much fun to watch. Calling them's even better. I mean, they're ripping around Peterborough Speedway so fast, and the sheer number of them this year has been so entertaining to watch all across Ontario. And man, every series we're talking about points, and through the halfway point to the end of the year, they're so tight on points, and we try to push that message as far as possible every single weekend to kind of show fans what they're watching in front of them. And the points battle this year, it's never been this tight at this point in the season, so it's going to be an incredible finish down the line.
Mini stocks. Continuing in terms of great stories, how about Dylan Wills and Doug Wills helping out Tyler McMurder to make it back out on the racetrack? I don't know the full story, but it didn't sound great from Tyler's post on social media that car is pretty hurt in the motor department. But how about that sportsmanship shown in by the Wills family?
Yeah, I mean, it shows the family in our divisions at Peterborough Speedway. Dylan Wills, obviously a winner now at
Yeah.
Peterborough. And that mini stock, it's gone through some problems in the past, but Ty McMurder blew an engine coming out of turn 4, looking for sponsorship, looking for help, trying to get that engine rebuilt and ready to go. Didn't have the time to do it, so Dylan Wills lent his car to Ty McMurder to keep running. It's his 3rd year, and he just wants to win so bad. He said it would be the best day of his life if he can get a win. I mean, they looked like a bunch of octopuses in the pit road trying to fix that car and get the parts where they need it, but awesome sportsmanship. And we talk about family all the time at Peterborough Speedway, and now it's being shown through social media and everything they're doing in pit road.
Speaking of social media, you're quite the social media star for Peterborough Speedway. The latest video has got a lot of attention, as it should. And one of the things that I really love about what you're bringing to the track is a lot of genius ideas, fresh ideas, something that we don't typically see. So let's talk about the latest video that you put out there that's garnered a lot of attention.
Yeah, so I wanted to do something different. I've been really creative with social media this year with racing. It helps being at the gens and seeing what videos do well. And I found success with hockey, getting 500,000 views on a video, and you kind of see what people want to watch. So I said, you know what, it's time to switch my style of announcing kind of in the booth with social media and start making it more engaging. And we were talking about words and definitions up in the booth, and it's like, how funny would it be if a driver could tell me what they wanted to announce? So I was like, I'm going to go down to Feeney because he's always going to have some random words to tell me. And I said, give me a word. Hatched on my microphone and said, just go, give me a word. He gave me calamity, which I'd never heard in my life. Quick dictionary search and figured that one out. But I asked a few more drivers and said, you know what, let's do this. And it was like playing hot potato out there, just with all these different words, trying to get them to go on. But man, the video turned out really good. I still laugh watching it, and I love all the people interacting with it. And part 2 is 100% coming soon.
I love it because it's also now impacting in this show where you have some suggestions from racers about stuff that you're going to mention. Brad Lavelle mentions in the chat, Ben, when are you going to get on the track for a major cleanup? I'm not sure what this is in reference to, but I'm sure because it's coming from Brad Lavelle, there's some sort of a joke in there.
Well, I'll put it this way. I like to rag on everyone when they're out there cleaning up, and even John sometimes. He threw the caution flag for a green flag, I think 2 weekends ago. So with me being up in the booth behind a locked door in race control, I feel like I can throw some jokes around on the PA and track tunes. So I get a little bit brave, I'll say, and it's going to come back to bite me at one time, and it hasn't yet. So we're going to keep going.
Yeah, well, I definitely think so. Brad says, darn, he got my word. Keith says, I want to hear the word soiled in a phrase. Well, yeah, that's a good one, actually, Keith. I like that. There's going to be, you did it. I want to say you did it at ACC was the start where you started throwing in because you guys were doing corn puns. Was that the ACC or was that one of the, it was the corn roast night? I
So
think is
that
what
was
it was.
corn roast night. When we first get to the racetrack, they don't want to get there super early because we have crates of corn that we want to husk and get in the boiler. And I was sitting there and we were cracking corn puns, and man, there were some bad ones going around. And I was like, how about I write some of these down and see if we can like put it into the booth. And I was like, you know what, this could actually be a fun video. And that one turned out not too bad. It went a little long just because like that style I was working with 2024, they were long videos, and I didn't really understand the whole social media algorithm yet. I mean, corn roast is coming up in 2 weeks. It's my first weekend back after vacation, so I got a few tricks up my sleeve, and we'll see what we can plan on the way home on the plane. But I'm excited for, I mean, any weekend. We've got a lot of social media planned, especially for ACC as well. We're going to make drivers feel like they're superstars every single night. We're going to get some stuff. There's still a lot in the works right now, but the idea is to have a lot of social media to post over the winter and make sure our track's staying active constantly. And it's really cool because I'm having drivers reach out to me now, and I've never had that before. And I feel like we're creating a strong bond, and I'm just trying to get everyone an image. So even with the conferences that we're posting, it's trying to give the drivers more than just a car number and a paint scheme. There's a human life behind the driver's seat or behind the wheel, and there's some special drivers out there that need to be appreciated, and social media is the best way to do that.
You know, it's nice to hear this. It's refreshing to hear this same type of opinion that Grade and myself have about motorsports as the racers, man. There's so many good characters, and most of the times, even in winners' interviews, you don't really get a good sense of that character behind it because they're trying to name off all the partners that they want to thank. But you guys got some really exciting weekends coming up. Obviously, you mentioned the corn roast, which is the same weekend as the mini stock 50 lapper, which is technically part of a mini stock weekend, which I don't know if the tracks planned it this way because it really just kind of happened that Delaware's Invitational is going to be a Friday. You guys have your big 50 lapper on the Saturday, and the rescheduled Velocity card will be on Sunday at sunset. And if you're very rambunctious, very ambitious, and you're going to go all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie and go to Laird, you can go there for Thursday as well, like Chris Pinder is going to do. But mini stock 50, you've got the corn roast. What exactly is a corn roast at a racetrack, in case people don't know?
Yeah, so the corn roast, come to Peterborough Speedway and get some corn, and it's not just any corn. I mean, it's unbelievable. JP's dad is so good at boiling that corn. I mean, it's just unreal. We have multiple races that night that we don't talk, and we have to mute our mics because we're too busy trying to get down some corn. And whips and licks with the ice cream shop has been a little bit of a problem lately. We've had a few laps, especially you could probably know tuning into track tune, it goes a little quiet. That's because me and Charlie are trying to scarf our ice cream as fast as possible. But no, it's awesome to see everyone enjoying some food at the racetrack. And like I said, I'm so excited for the video I have planned that night, and I can't wait to see what we can come up with in the future as well.
Unfortunately, Ben is not going to be there this weekend. It is Oscar weekend at Peterborough Speedway. They're going to have the hot rods and you're gonna also have the I think is it just the hot rod? No, you do have the mods as well. King of the Hill, Super Stocks, Bone Stocks, and hopefully the Outlaw Midgets will finally get a start because they've gotten rain affected almost every race this year. You're back on August 2nd. August 9th, OSS is in town for their yearly event. We'll try and see if we're down there for that event because we love our Peterborough Speedway. Ben, enjoy your well-deserved vacation. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me, of course, as our Peterborough correspondent as of sorts. And keep doing what you're doing, man, because it makes it a lot more fun for us in the racing community. I love the content. I love that you and I chat all the time about ideas and that you have the cojones to go out there and actually do them. That's the biggest thing. And props to JP and your entire team for letting you guys run with it because I think it's going really well. And like I said, enjoy Vancouver, buddy.
I will. I will say this: if anyone has any suggestions about social media, the greatest thing about that video I just posted is that people are putting in the comment section what they want to hear next, and there's a plan moving forward that I want to make it more interactive for not just the drivers at the track, but for the fans as well. So if you ever have any suggestions for videos, make sure to reach out to me and I'll make sure we get it done. Because, I mean, it's so much fun for me up in the booth. It kind of creates my own unique style at the same time. So I just want to create content that everyone's really excited about watching and tuning into.
Well, you've got a fan in us, and we're really appreciative. You brought the Peterborough Speedway shirt with you on vacation. That's how you do it, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to a track on Saturday up in, it's about 4 hours out of Vancouver. I heard they have some delicious food, so I'm super excited to go try it. But we're going to go talk to his announcer and hopefully get on the mic for a race. That's the goal.
Hell yeah, buddy. Ben Hodgson, our guest from Peterborough Speedway. Have a great vacation, Ben.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta love when you got these young kids coming in that put on a show in the announce tower, not just out on the racetrack. That's one of the things that I really love about this kid. He does such a good job. He always reaches out. He reached out about those press conferences and hey, would this is what I'm thinking. Absolutely do that, bud. Like, do it. Very rarely does he have a bad idea. I don't think he's had one yet, frankly. It's been great to see. And something else that's been great to see is the new talent out on the racetrack. And we got to witness what was a first-time win. Might be the youngest winner I've seen at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. He's coming on with his dad. That's Josh Clark and Nick Clark joining us again. Nick was on it seems like a couple weeks ago. Nick was on. We were talking about how Nick was winning everything. And the boy decided that wasn't going to fly, Nick. Josh now owns the big gold chain, the Only Fours chain, because he is now a winner. And he did it in convincing fashion. Josh, you showed up Brady Cox well, man. You showed him how you race up at Full Throttle. How's it feel?
It feels nice to actually beat some people this time and to take it from my dad.
That's the coolest part about it, actually. I was going to be the next question is that of all the people that you got to take it away from, you got to take it away from your dad, and your dad had to take a picture with him giving it to you. Nick, there's not a moment that I think a parent gets to experience something as cool as this. It would have been cooler, I think, if you were actually on the track getting your ass beat by him. But how does it feel, man?
It's cool. It would have been cool to be able to, be there competing with him to do it. But I don't know. The way my nerves were sitting in the grandstands watching it, I don't know that I could have been behind the wheel while doing that as well. So I think it was maybe better I wasn't on the racetrack. But
I know I messaged Andrea. I think my message was OMG, OMG, OMG. That was my message right after, because the first time, this isn't the first time, Josh, that your name has been first, but it's the first time that it actually happened. I believe it was last time, Nick, you had mentioned it was a transponder problem, so it said Josh Clark was first. It was actually you that won the race. So now you go out there and do it. Started at the front, Josh, and you drove away. Is this the same car you started the year with?
Yes, this is the same car. We just fixed all the issues.
Fixed all the issues, and unfortunately, there's been a bit of issues with this car, right?
Yeah, we started the year out and we had a bunch of wiring issues and stuff like that, and just trying to get everything rectified. And finally, the one time we do have all the wiring issues rectified and the car shows speed, of course, he ended up wrecked on lap one over somebody else's deal, right? Just it's frustrating, but it's cool now that we've got all these issues figured out, and he's showing that he's consistently one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. He's consistently, within the top five for fastest lap times, and he's able to make it into the top five almost weekly since. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, there was no time in the junior late. It was straight to the bone stock, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
yeah, so he ran a year as a kid stock at Grand Bend, just get him some seat time and stuff like that. And him and Lucas Chapman, they had a lot of good races together, and they both learned a ton of car control that year and learned from each other. And then we went a little closer to home, went to Boundy last year, and sent him out there with 20 plus cars all of a sudden, and he had to figure it out in a hurry. So
Now, do we know if this is a record at Varney, if it's the youngest winner ever?
I don't know. It might be the youngest in a bone stock. I
Mm-hmm.
know there are younger winners, but it might be the youngest in a bone stock for sure, because um, the the rules technically state without experience they're not supposed to be there until they're 14. So he had some experience previously, so he wasn't necessarily very green rookie. So they allowed him to start a little bit younger than some others, but yeah, he may very well be the youngest bone stock winner there.
So, Josh, where are you off to next? Are you going to stay at full throttle, or are you going to go and do some racing potentially at another track in the bone stocks?
We're going to stay at full throttle for now. Maybe at the end of the year we'll go somewhere else.
I mean, if you can hold on to that chain, man, that thing looks heavy too. It doesn't look like it's a little light. It's Brad Laval was saying right now, look at the chain. I was like, yeah, wow, that thing is massive. You should be wearing that when you're driving the car. Actually, that'd be even more fun. Um, Getting out front is one thing, but being able to keep the lead is another. How are you able to hold off Brady Cox in that number 4? Because that is the one of the best cars this year. Obviously, Brady's not the type to wreck anybody ever, right, Nick? He would never ever make
Right.
contact.
Anyhow,
He would never make contact ever. I'm kidding, Brady. I know you still feel bad about that, but no. How was it out there, Josh? Because you can't really ever get away from anybody at Varney.
Yeah, I just got in there and didn't look back and just ran my race.
And you don't have a spotter or anybody on the radio, do you?
No.
no, we don't run a mirror in his car either, so he can't see behind him. He can't. Yeah, nothing. You just go, man. If they're not beside you, they don't exist. So
Well, and what's been very nice to see is that the young kids this year at Varney are on fire. Like him, Austin Hopkins, Dustin Johnston's been on fire for a couple years now. Are we seeing this as kind of a new starting division for the younger racers there, Nick? Is it just
I
better
hope so. I
investment?
really do. I hope so. There's no. Unfortunately, it should be in my mind. It should be considered a beginner division, but there is not really any such thing as a beginner division. It's a
Hmm.
budget division, and which sometimes creates a bit of chaos because then you do get green drivers of every age. Um, but I do hope that this is the new beginner division to get these young kids in, to get them at the racetrack and enjoying this and learning and everything like that. I've been a pretty big advocate this year for these kids to be learning from the guys that have a lot of experience, like Tommy Robb, like myself. You know what? Even Dustin's been doing this long enough that some of these younger kids coming in should be learning from him as well. So
this is one of those things, I guess that's a loaded question, Nick, is you put him in at, I believe it was age 10, if I'm not mistaken. Was
Yeah.
he? Yeah, he was 10.
Yeah.
Lucas, I think, was 9, I think, actually, when he started. They were right around the same age. Lucas and Josh have both won a feature this year.
Yeah.
So the proof is in the pudding, right? Like, it's showing Lucas was the same. I mean, he had a self spin, but he could have very well won his feature this weekend as well. Something about this is it's not just showing them, hey, this is a great division to start in, but it's showing racecraft clearly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right. And I think the thing that's kind of nice about these kids is as we get older, we get, I don't know, maybe a little smarter and have a little bit more fear to worry about some things. And these kids don't seem to have that, which sometimes is good, sometimes isn't. But for the speed side of things, they do seem to definitely pick it up in a hurry because of, I think, the lack of just not really knowing what the consequences could quite potentially be if they go a little too hard, right? But
Well, Spencer Riddell says when he grows up, he wants to be just like Josh, and I agree. I think most of us would want to. Megan says, "Way to go, Josh." I think I post. You guys know. I mean, at least Nick knows. I post a ton on social media and covering all sorts of racing in Ontario. Uh, the most popular post in terms of likes and shares is the one that I posted about a 12-year-old kid named Josh Clark winning the bone stock race at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. So it goes to show that people love to see it. Um, yeah. Brian Wilson says Nick Clark doesn't have any fear. Yeah, that's pretty true. He's picking that up. When we gonna see the late model out? I know you guys were real close to getting it out this past weekend. Just didn't happen. Obviously, we all know that this is gonna be Josh's car, not yours, Nick.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You've been replaced. In all reality, straight stocks in the family. You've got obviously the late model. I believe you still have the hot rod.
Yeah. Still have this hot rod. Yeah.
Still have the hot rod, and you got a fleet full of bone stocks. Is pure stock / bone stock still going to be the place next year on for a championship for Josh, or are we looking at potentially some other options?
We're gonna see how the rest of the season goes before we make 100% a decision on that. We'll see where we want to end up. I'm as of right now, I think probably bone stock again for him, and I'll run some more late model stuff next year as well. We're hoping to have the late model out. August 30th is our next scheduled race, so we should hopefully have it for that. I'd like to get him testing in a bigger car, but we want to just make sure that everything is in place and he's ready for it and we're ready for it and everything like that. So.
Well, obviously, we're excited for both of you guys. This is a huge deal. It's not normal that many kids get to walk around with a chain that big, and accolades of that nature. It is. um, Brad Laval says, "When am I getting a seat in that hot rod?"
Never. Never.
sorry, Brad. I had to make sure I pull out the classic Clark shirt for tonight. Oddly enough, there's not an 83 on this one, so we're gonna have to get some new merch out there. Yeah, I gotta get the 83, 84, 86 back out there. But also, I guess a quick question about Nick as well. How cool is it seeing your dad's old car out there racing still in the hot rod division? Ben McPherson been wheeling that beauty out there this year.
That's really cool. It is cool to see that, and they're making gains and everything like that. So it's cool to see. I've been very closely watching the updates they make on it, and I think they made it look even cooler than it already did. It's neat, and it's cool because it's an old Lawmac chassis. It was Dan Lawler's late model, so I remember watching that car race growing up. So it's cool to see that it's still on the track and it still has potential to be competitive. So
I'll throw the last question out before we wrap up with you guys to Josh. You got the option of your dad's late model, your dad's hot rod, or your mom's street stock. Which one are you racing first?
Probably just the street stock. It has less power.
Well, there you go, Andrea. That is you're out of a job. And you know what? I'd be all for that. I think the street stock class that you guys are building out there, it's gone through a bit of a a lull, but now it's really ramped up again. It's got really good competition, really good racers in it. I'm really excited to see what we get for the rest of the year. But both you boys, thank you so much for coming on the show. Josh, first time on the show, it won't be the last. Obviously, we like to talk to winners out here, and we know your dad's got less coming, so it's going to be fun to see in the future. But congratulations to all you guys, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
thanks, Cam.
All right, that is Josh Clark and Nick Clark out at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. Going to go straight into our next guest, who picked up a big super stock win out at Peterborough Speedway this past weekend. He did it in style. That is Paul Boundy joining us on the show. Paul, you finally got one this year. I was talking about it earlier with Ben Hodgson. I honestly think that the super stocks at Peterborough might be one of the underrated divisions this year. You guys have had a whole bunch of different winners this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely a tough class. Everyone's fast. Everyone's around the same speed and time. So it's just a matter of taking your opportunities when they come.
Oh, and it's been kind of dominated the last couple of years by the Gordons, but I think again this year you're seeing. I mean, we had Dylan Wills go out and win. You've won. Chad Strawn's won. Maybe we'll see Clayton Reed, a Donovan Price go out there. Well, we don't know about Donovan, but we'll get Clayton out there at least. You'd like to obviously see a couple more cars out there, but for somebody who's raced at Peterborough Speedway for so long, how does it feel this year? Seems like there's a lot of great energy, lots of good car counts as well.
Yeah, we've been having good car counts just up until this last week. A few people had to take some vacation time. Like, racing is our lives, but there is another life outside of that. So it's good to see, like we've had up to a dozen cars this year, and, it was rough to see only 6 this weekend. So moving forward, there hopefully will be some more.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough thing to see when you do have those odd weekends. Obviously, the cool thing for you is you're out there not just as a racing competitor, but you're out there as a dad seeing your daughter race in the Bandoleros. It was obviously a really tough weekend for the Bandoleros, but how has that experience been seeing Ava go out there, and she's getting better every week?
Yeah, I was so excited last year when the Bandoleros came to Ontario to have a class my daughter could join. She was aged out in the junior late, so we couldn't get her in that division. So she's been interested for the last couple of years. So it's nice that she's finally running, and it's so excited just to see her improvements. And it's nerve-wracking at the same time.
I would imagine so. I mean, she's been in the thick of it. She's had the experience up at the front of the field. She's not gotten that win yet, but I was there when she was able to get, I believe it was a runner-up finish. I believe it was at Sunset Speedway was one of those races I think she was in. She finished second. It is a class that obviously is still going through its motions. It's its inaugural season, but it seems promising. Would I be correct on that? Do you see that there's a lot of positive growth in this division?
Yeah, definitely a lot of positive growth for the Bandoleros. There's more cars coming up from Charlotte soon. Some new ones being brought in by Jeff Dremy. And also the kids really enjoy it. They're a fairly safe car to be driving. They're a little quick for beginners though. Like we're trying to get some rules put in place so where we can slow these kids down a little bit. It's, they're doing sub 16-second lap times at Peterborough Speedway. They're in they're in with our super stock times with some of the slower drivers. So it's hard for a young kid to, mentally be ready for that.
Yeah, I would agree on this side of it. I definitely think that's a great point because there are some competitors that have not been in other oval track divisions before, other race cars. And that again, it's about the reaction times, right? When there isn't a problem, what do you do? And I think education is definitely extremely important when we do have accidents like this. And obviously, we at the start of the show, we did send our best wishes to Hudson. And as a parent, when you do see an accident like what they had, Ava was right in the middle of all of that. I think she made it through, actually, though. I don't think she had any damage. Was I right on that?
Yeah, there was no damage for Ava. She just locked the brakes up, spun around, and stopped a couple feet from the incident, which makes you happy. But it's just like, how does she make it through that? Like her nerves must be going crazy too. And every time she comes off the track, she's either very disappointed in the race because the car failed her and when she was doing well, or she's super excited of how good she's doing. So there's mixed emotions all season for her.
I mean, it's one thing to have your successes as a competitor week in and week out, but when you get to see, we're just talking with Nick and Josh Clark, obviously, and Josh got his first ever bone stock win at Full Throttle this past weekend at age 12, and you've got a daughter who's getting into this and being a race car driver at still at a moment with a division that's still got to prove itself. Then you have a racer that's injured in that division. Is that type of situation, is that tough to deal with, or did you guys make it out kind of knowing what the risks are and that this is potential to happen?
So we know what the risks are in racing, but we also don't know the limits of these cars yet, the limits of their safety. So there's a few more things that may become mandatory for safety regulations for these kids in there, because all we want to do is make sure they have fun out there and are safe at the end of the race.
Yeah, I think Sunset, it seems like they're a little bit slower, but definitely at Peterborough, when I saw the videos, I was like, holy crap, they are flying around Peterborough Speedway. So, and then of course you guys going up to Sauble for the Bandoleros as well. Yourself in this championship battle for the Super Stocks. Obviously you've had a really fun battle with the Gordons for supremacy in this division. But you've also got a rival that I absolutely love, the Donk and Donovan Clark. Donovan Clark. Jesus, Donovan Price. Too many Donovans in this racing world. Donovan Price. Now, I am all for content, and you guys have been back and forth and making such fun content with your rivalries. Why is Donovan Price somebody that we need to have at the racetrack? Or is he somebody that after this past weekend you don't want to see on the racetrack? Because it looked pretty good for you.
Well, the thing with Donovan, like he's either in your way or he's pushing you, one or the other. But like me and him get along so well at the track. We've been pitting beside each other for a couple of years, and I didn't know Donovan coming into racing. So we both met through racing and just a friendship grown outside the track. Like we hang out every Thursday night. We're at my facility, Volt Raceway, running laps together, having dinner. And now that with the new attraction, the bowling, we're in there bowling together. So it's like we've got a great relationship, just not at the track. It's so nice.
So let's talk about that, because I do want people to make sure they go and check this out. You've built this amazing facility. You've got this amazing facility in Volt Raceway. And it kind of gives me a little bit of the tag e-karting vibes. It's not on the same level, I don't believe, but we didn't have something like this that people could go to. Now we've got routinely, I have racers in the SNS Racing family talking about, oh, we're going to Volt this week. Oh, especially the juniors, the kids love it.
Yeah.
Why was this so important to put together?
Well, I'm not the owner of the place. I collaborated with the owners and to help design and build the facility, and it's just so important because everything's been overwhelmed by K1. And just it's such a long wait to get into the race. And I know that itself, like when I want to have some fun in the wintertime, it took you days to get in there. So we decided to open up this facility in Bowmanville, a little bit further away from the city, make the travel easier for people to get there. And like our facility, it's 110,000 square feet, 350-meter adult track and 180-meter junior track. So we've got two tracks running simultaneously. So there's never a wait time. Your wait time is maybe a half an hour. So.
And how has it been so far? How have you guys been received by the Bowmanville community?
I think they love it. Like great comments about the facility. We have some ups and downs being a new company. But the track, we have Sodi carts out of France. We bought the best carts we could. We've got a great track layout, great employees. Just things are just moving along so smoothly, and like we have so many new members every month.
This is exactly what you want to hear, because one of the things that I think is extremely important is these types of facilities, especially in the off season, because there's no way for people to practice. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And to hear that people are going out there, they're doing tournaments, they're doing special events there. This is the type of stuff we want to hear. And the fact that you guys are manifesting this, and you're creating an atmosphere that more people will be interested in racing, is phenomenal. Let's just throw a quick shout out to your partners, because you got out there into victory lane. It's not always a possibility to win, but when you do it in style. So throw out those people that you want to thank.
Yeah, so I'd like to thank Volt Raceway, Boundy Roofing, Circa 1818. I'd like to thank Rona Port Hope, Port Perry Salvage, Cobra Geese Campground. I think I got Rona Port Hope in there. We've also got Spinner's Laundromat. Well, I've got a huge list. I've got Wheelhouse 10. They do all my gear for me. PP Ready Print and Signworks, they combine together to do my car wraps, all my imaging for that. I've got the Orno Country Cafe. They keep me fueled up every week before the races. Food is my one thing I love. And my brother-in-law, Mark Rainford, he's been with me since the beginning, helped supporting me along the way, helped support Ava. We've just got a great bunch of sponsors and partners that help us get through every race season and help make us quicker.
Well, you know what? We love to see you out on the racetrack. Love to see you win. It's always a popular win as well. There's a big crew of Boundy supporters, and you know what? One of the people that got me introduced to Peterborough Speedway, Brandon Feeney, had Boundy roofing on his car, his super stock, for a bit too. So that's how we got to learn a little bit about the Boundy team. So congratulations, Paul. Hopefully a championship season in there for you. Hopefully we'll see a couple more wins. This is where it's going to get really nitty and gritty, because we're down to the last couple months of the season. So I just want to say thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, well, thanks, Cam, for having me, and we're looking forward to pushing for the championship. So
that is Paul Boundy out at Peterborough Speedway this season, winning last weekend in the Superstock division. Awesome to see that. We are running a little bit behind schedule, so we're about 7 minutes behind schedule right now. So we're going to bring on another winner from this past weekend, and that is Mike Thompson, who comes out on top at Flamborough Speedway for like the 7th time this year. I think maybe it's 8 now. I honestly am keeping track between Mike and Matt Young. Mike, how is it going tonight for you?
It's going really good. I was just watching the program there, so I had to switch that back over, make sure I was on time for you to give me the chat. But
yeah, I'm late, so
no, it's been really good. It's kind of a relaxing day today, and just talking about some racing stuff today was pretty cool.
Awesome stuff to hear. When we talked in the off season, you weren't really sure what the plans were going to be for this year. You said, maybe if things go well, maybe we'll run for a championship, maybe we'll go travel around. It's been pretty good this year for you. It's, I guess, the amount of wins. I think your lowest finish might be a 3rd, if anything. Why? What's going on this year? Is it the car? Is it you? Like, what's happened?
I think maybe it's just a little bit it's just by not running for points, it's just taking that pressure off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no pressure each week, and we've been fortunate that we've won every week that we've been out, and it's just because we're just out there to have fun and win races, and no pressure about if we can't make it that week, because we were a few weeks ago we were at Berlin Speedway watching Traden Lapsevich win the ARCA race. I missed it a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? No big deal. We'll just, I'm not worried about points anymore. Just go out and have fun and, race whenever you want to. And if you don't want to race because you got something going on, then you don't have to have the pressure of, where you're going to end up with the points.
It's a good it's a good thing to talk about because we have had some racers, I think, that have questions whether they want to continue doing this. And one of the comments was stop points racing because it changes it. So you've talked about it just now, the relief off of your shoulders that you're not doing it. And unfortunately at Flamborough there's a lot of races that you have to do week in and week out. Taking that pressure off you and Matt Young, man. You guys put on some damn good racing between you two. Clean, fun, and really don't get too far away from one each of each other either. Because, I mean, when I was there witnessing your two races, the only reason he got ahead was I think because you drifted and you may have caught the wall off of 4. It was a couple weeks ago, and that's the only way I think that he kind of was able to scoot away from you. But talk about having a race between you guys that is just all season back and forth and back and forth. It's either you or it's him. It's got to be fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that night there, I actually we broke mechanical part broke when we were going to the corner. So as soon as I came off the corner, I was trying to turn the car. It just wasn't going to go down, and we tagged the wall. But the issue had happened before that. But we've had some really good races. The thing is that we're so close with our lap times and speed that if one guy gets out front, it's hard for the next guy to pass him, right? And like that same race, like I followed him for 20 laps, it just kind of like just waiting for the opportunity, right? Because unless someone really makes a mistake or if something mechanically doesn't go right for your car, it's hard for one of us. And I mean, Tyler's right there too. He's been really close. And then last weekend was really good with Blaze Shaw was there, and I know Rodney was running the 59. But between the four of us, we were all so close that it's hard if you get behind to catch up. And if you're up front, you just got to make sure you don't make any mistakes. That's it.
It's been really nice to see the last two races that we saw. You guys finally had a double digit count in the mini stock division. It's been tough. I mean, you guys lost, I want to say 4 to 5 cars from the off season. Ones that ran quite regularly. Kate Wallace isn't been out there as regularly as she has in the past. I think she's been full time the last couple of years, and Nikki King has not been out there this year. So you lost a couple of full-time cars, but now we're starting to see a couple more come in with their pure stocks and run with you guys and help build the field a little bit. There's a big weekend coming up for mini stocks, and you kind of know better than everybody else what the future is looking like. At Flamborough, obviously, you guys don't have a ton of cars out there. So are you okay seeing guys take their pure stocks and turn them into minis and join up?
I mean, to me, like having the cars and having the car count is great. But I always said too, if you've got 3 or 4 cars that are all competitive, there's a race within the race. So, I mean, for me, I don't need to have 25 cars out there and only have 5 that are competitive. I'm fine with having, 3 or 4 other competitive cars. And if there's a race between us, so be it. You know what I mean? I don't, it's fine that they have up the car counts, but I mean, I think the car counts everywhere are down, right? So, I mean, if you go up to other tracks and I follow on Race Monitor, if I got a competitive field of 5 cars, I'm fine with that too. I mean, as long as I got someone to race with, it doesn't really matter to me. But it was nice to have those guys out. And I think a lot of them are just kind of shaking down their cars for their dirt cars and stuff like that, which is fine. But it also makes it a little bit more challenging when you're constantly going around and you got lap cars and stuff like that. But I mean, it makes it fun, and it makes it fun for the fans, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And when they see all those cars out there, they think it's wonderful. You know what I mean? So it's good for the fans, it's good for John, it's good for the track. And if that makes it so that everybody's out there watching us, I'm fine with it. I'm good.
Now, speaking of this upcoming week, yeah, Spencer Riddell says damn dirt cars get in the way too. Yeah, those damn dirt cars. So the plans for you for this upcoming weekend, or not this upcoming weekend, next weekend, they got the big invitational. You are one of the drivers that we did see that got out there and tested. How did it
Yeah.
feel out on the big track at Delaware?
Yeah, it was a very good test. It was a very good baseline for us to figure out because we had never obviously had the car out there and stuff like that. So we were just kind of blank slate, and we made some changes throughout the afternoon and tried some stuff. And I'm pretty excited for when we go back on the first because I think that that information is really going to help us give us an advantage to those who didn't get a chance to go out there yet. So. I'm really excited about that. And actually, we were talking today, and Carrie and I were just kind of throwing out the idea that I'm going to try to do the 3 races that weekend, right? So I'm going to do the Saturday. We're making plans to go up on Saturday to Peterborough and then go up to Sunset on for Velocity. So I'm excited for that. Just just decided today we're just chatting and I said, I'd love to do that. And so I think that's the plan. We're going to race all 3 races that weekend.
I don't think we've seen something like this before, where we've had 3 big mini stock races that are in the same weekend, and it's just coincidental that Velocity was rescheduled to this. I'm really excited because mini stocks are my shit. I love them. They're my favorite division to watch. I'm hoping we can pull thousands out from behind the barns and get them out. We're not going to get thousands, but if we can get at least a couple extras out there to join up at Delaware Speedway at Peterborough for a 50 lapper, and then of course for Velocity, that will be definitely worth it. Mike, congratulations on all your success this year. It's been so fun to watch. I love the look of this car. It's one of my favorite mini stocks out there, and it's always just so clean. That's what I really like about it the most. I'm not one of those guys. I don't like all these crazy graphics all over the place. It's just nice, clean. I can read everything on it. It's got a nice throwback on it, a nice throwback scheme, and it's fast and it wins. So congratulations, Mike. If you want to throw out some shout outs, definitely shout out some partners and some people that made it possible for you this year.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like with our partners with like Tatra Shoes and Speed Composites, Butcher and Banker, they do a lot for us. And obviously, like my dad, he makes the car look as good as it does because every time we bring it back to the shop, he's got a showroom ready for the next week out. So, just thank you to everybody that helps out and. Thank you to you guys as well, with Stickers and Scuffs. It's been a pleasure for the last couple of years being partnered with you guys. And, and especially here at home with with Carrie and the girls, like they're pushing me and making me excited to race every week. So it's fun to have that support around here.
When are we going to see Reese in the mini stock?
It's funny. I had her sitting in there after one of the races, and if we could find a way to adapt the pedals, I'd like to get her into the car and give her a shot out there.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Mike, best of luck for the rest of the season. Can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully I'll be out there. I don't know which track, but hopefully be out there for the mini stock weekend. Best of luck for the rest of this year. And thank you as well for joining me on the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
That is Mike Thompson. You can see him most of the time out at Flamborough Speedway. And you know what? I did want to mention we were going to have Ollie Ferguson in at 9:20. Unfortunately, Ollie is not going to join. Their plans have changed for this weekend, so it kind of defeated the purpose of him coming on to promote the big Hanley Classic. And unfortunately, it was just a little too late to have another guest for that event. But we can definitely welcome in another young guest who's joining us after what's been probably it was his best effort in the Ontario Legend Cars Series, 4th place out at Sunset Speedway. Cole Camrath is going to join us. Hopefully, we'll see if the tech is going to allow us for that to happen. But Cole's out there in the Sauble Legends Series, runs out at Sauble Speedway every week, and is also doing some great charitable efforts. I am seeing some tech issues right now, which is causing the delay. So he maybe not joining us. We'll see if we can get that figured out. But unfortunately, when it does, it kind of freezes when I try to add guests, and sometimes it just means that they're going to have to, because now it won't let me do anything. They might have to just restart or kick themselves out, basically, to give it a shot. But one of the things I did want to mention as well, cool stuff happening. OSS out this weekend at Full Throttle Motor Speedway. If you didn't see my post earlier tonight, really cool that Mitch Wright, Ontario Legends Car champion from 2024, testing, getting his seat ready for the for I'll race at some point. We don't know which one that is yet, but it'll be exciting to see. Doesn't look like so we'll see if Cole is going to be able to join. It might not happen because I don't actually have the ability to remove him either, which is the issue. So he's going to come back in. I saw that he did leave, so we're gonna see if he can come back in, and we'll bring him on this time. Sometimes what happens is when guests wait for a bit, it does cause some problems. So we'll see if we can get him on and have Cole Camrath chat with us. This is unfortunate because it's part of the tech issues that I'm trying to get rid of. It's because we do use the Zoom platform. Trying to find an alternative right now that will prevent this kind of issue that doesn't have those tech stuff. But they're gonna give it a shot. It's not always the easiest. I know laptops tend to be the problem because of age a lot of the times, compatibility. But yeah. I think if we can't get him, we'll try and get him on next week. We'll try again, and we've got the hope again next week is we're gonna have a couple more racers. Whoever we get, maybe the winner of the Hanley Classic, but we'll see. Phones always tend to do better. We don't know why that is, Cole, but glad that you're able to join me. And you've got the beautiful ride behind you, which is important. I was just talking about fourth place at Sunset Speedway, man. How the heck did you do that?
Well, we had a decent, well, we were a bit off the pace in practice and ended up qualifying 12th with a bit of a loose car. So then we tightened her up a bit for the feature and pretty much just had to avoid all the wrecks. And I looked at my data logger after the race and it said we did like 98 laps or something. So on like a 35 lap scheduled feature. So I just really had to avoid all the wrecks and then have a bit of a long run car with the last 15 laps when we didn't get any cautions finally. So it worked out pretty well in our hands, but still had a fast car. Thanks to my dad and my uncle for helping me out all week building up to that.
I know one of the things that was very important to you this year was being able to beat your uncle, and you did it. So at the end of the day, you've got a one up on Uncle Andy, which is pretty impressive. Again, Sauble Legends, you did the Ontario Legends as well, but your goal, I guess, this year was Sauble Legends. How has that gone for you this year?
Well, we started off a little slow to the season. I mean, we had some decent finishes. There wasn't great car counts, but for the first couple nights we stayed with, my uncle. I almost got around him one time. Close, but I actually want to beat him, the right way on track with him not spinning out next time. But, I'll tell him to wait for Sauble, but we'll see what happens.
Well, that's the big thing, right? This year, you guys obviously be part of the interdrops.ca. There's a big Legends shootout that's going to take place in a couple of weeks. Obviously, this is a huge deal for you and your family, obviously with Image Wraps. But yourself going out there and racing this year, you got to race with your buddy Dell. You've been, I think, better than Dell every week, so it's definitely a learning experience. But what are the plans for the rest of the year for you, bud?
Yeah, it's really focusing on the shootout, trying to perform good in that for sure, and then heading over to Sunset, I think, for the Velocity weekend. Of course, my brother's on Saturday, and then I'm on Sunday, so fortunately we got to stay over the whole weekend. But then we're running the Flamborough race for Mike Schmidt at London Recreational Racing. He's putting the whole thing together for us, so we're going to head up like we did last year, and we did all right there last year, so it should be a fun time. And then possibly, rumor, we might go to the States, but we'll see how it all plays out. It'll have to play out pretty good, but we're not sure about Peterborough yet. We'll see about it, but we don't need to rebuild a car over the season.
That's very fair. And you don't want to let Josh Davenport steal all your thunder, right? By going down and winning at Charlotte. Yeah. I mean, as his buddy, I mean that's got to be fun though, right? Somebody you grew up with and you've raced with, seeing him succeed, that's got to be a lot of fun, eh?
Oh yeah, it's really fun. Like seeing him go down there. Well, from last year, like the progression of him battling just with me last year, and then already moving up to the Bandos and racing down in Charlotte. Like, it's a pretty cool gig they got going. And I don't know. He says he might not go back till next year, so we'll see what happens. But
well, I don't believe him. He's definitely been a lot of fun to watch. I've got someone mentioning that Cole has joined the rivalry on iRacing with Tommy and Josh. So you guys are a riot, first off. I mean, you guys are always very fun to see what all the chirping that goes on between you guys on a weekly basis. I know I've seen Ollie as well get chirping on that as well. Him and Tommy like to chirp each other, and him and Josh. You guys got a good crew in Allenford, and I think Caleb McConnell's out from around there. I think he's from Allenford as well, actually. But for yourself this year, have you been happy with how things have gone?
Yeah, especially starting to pick it up, especially at Sunset with the 4th place. It brings a lot of confidence to the whole team, and we're just going to keep working on it for the next 3 weekends of Sobel coming up, I guess.
And plans to potentially do this again next year, that you're going to stick with the Legend car?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll run Sobel full-time next year, pick up some Ontario races over at Sunset, and, well, pretty much the same schedule as this year. But, we'll see what happens. Maybe a couple more tracks we'll pick up.
Hey, you never know. I mean, Mitch Wright goes down to Atlanta a couple times. I think Nashville's got them. You also got the big weekends out in Riverside. If you want to go travel across Canada, there's definitely lots of options. And you've also got another buddy in there, Jake Spencer Walt's also been racing in that division. I think you may have been better than him too in that race. I'm not mistaken. I think you were 4th and he was behind you, but you seeing him go and gather some heat wins, and he's picking it up just as much as you are. Is this class as fun as it looks?
More, I'd say.
Oh yeah, more, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it so far, and it's hard to start with, but we're really starting to pick her up, and having a couple buddies in the class helps too.
So when is Hollywood coming to join you in the Legend cars then?
Well, we'll see about him. I mean, he's really starting to come along this year, so maybe soon. I don't know, but having my uncle and my brother racing with me would be pretty cool.
Now you just got to add your dad back in there and see if he'll dust off the old suit and come on in and join you. I think that's what we're waiting for. It would be a lot of fun. But Cole, you know what, bud? We don't get to chat as often because you're always racing up at Sobel and I'm down Sunset Peterborough. But for whatever reason, our paths haven't crossed much this year. But I'm glad to be able to chat with you tonight. You've done a great job. Oh, Jake finished third? Okay, so sorry. No, sorry, bud. You didn't beat Jake in that one. But it's always fun to chat with you, bud. And hopefully we can chat once you've got a victory under your belt. Feels like it's coming pretty soon. Might have to, boot Uncle Andy out of the way to do it. But, I mean, what's that, right? It's just an uncle, right?
Yeah, I mean, I almost got to him in the one Sunset Heat. Very close. I told him I was going to move him before the race in the last corner. And turns out I actually almost did. So
I'm gonna throw one more out there. Who's somebody that you have raced with, that you are racing with, somebody that's a veteran, someone that you think should come, drop what they're doing, and join the Legends and race with you guys?
I don't know about that. Probably my dad.
Your dad,
Throw
eh?
him in one. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There you
Come
go,
on.
Craig. You've been called out by your boy on live TV, on a live show. Yeah, I think it's fun. I think that would be a good thing. I definitely think there's a lot of people that want to see it. How about you throw out some partners and people that you want to thank, Cole?
Yeah, for sure. But I'd just like to thank first Jaden Jordan over at 705 Racing, helping us out all of last year and leading into this year. My uncle and my dad for always putting the good setups in her and stuff, always getting me the good techniques and everything. And then all my sponsors, London Recreational Racing, Hamilton Ruffins Pet Center, new addition, Quick Wick on the car.
That's right.
Burns Motorworks, Mad Rock Barbers, Image Wraps for making the thing look sweet. Thank you, Dad. Sorry. Next Level Automotive, our Simple Spray Foam Solution, K&K Pest Control. Oh, I haven't won a race this year yet. I can't name them. But yeah, just huge thanks to everyone out there for supporting the Legend Car Racing, for the 51 team, and all of Car's sponsors too. I'll say that for them. But yeah, hopefully we'll get this thing into victory lane soon. We'll see. But as you said, might have to move my uncle to do it. So
yeah, we'll see if that's what's gonna happen. But didn't mention S&S, so you're off the team now, bud.
oh,
Cool.
man.
Cole Camrath, thank you so much, buddy. Have yourself a good night, good rest of the season, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane real soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show tonight.
That is Cole Camrath from Sauble Speedway. As we wrap up the show, man, what a good kid. He's got a future, man, and he's fun to watch and fun to talk to. It's great to see the young competitors move into this deal and continue to impress, man. Not just on the track, but off. I mean, he's a good talker. He's got some humor about him. He's definitely on his way. We know Jake Spencer Walt, same thing. These kids are learning these divisions. They're improving, and they're the ones that are gonna be knocking on Parker Traves and Mitch Wright's door to take some feature wins away from them. But you know what? I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight here on G4's TV. Cam K, your host. Hopefully be out on the weekend at Sunset Speedway for the Hanley Classic. It'll be the first time I've ever seen the Hanley Classic. So hopefully we get a whole bunch of late model guys and gals to come on out and be a part of that show. Sunset's Speed is Forever is the name of the card. I'm just going to go double check again. You've got your 172 lapper Hanley Classic. That is, sorry, not Speed's Forever. That was last weekend, which unfortunately was rained out. So we're gonna look at, unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna reschedule that one because they've already had 2 reschedules, I believe. But we'll find out at a different time. The NTN Bearings Junior Hanley Classic, 172 laps for the pro late models. Super Stocks 30 laps, Bone Stocks 20 laps, and then it's the big 3 junior late models. Round number 2, grandstands at 4:30 p.m. And of course, you've got the 6 p.m. start July 26th. Of course, that is this Saturday. Make sure you get your butt there. Junior late model racers, hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of them out. Peterborough Sunset, I don't know how many we'll get from Sauble. I don't think we're going to see any from Varney. If we are, it would be like Grayson Mason, perhaps. I don't know who else potentially would show up for that, but the big three, once again, they're officially, it's I think round 2. I don't know how many they've got. I think they're still doing 3. I'm pretty sure. But unfortunately, the first one was rained out at Sauble Speedway. So, although maybe that was the SPS. There's so many different things to pay attention to this year. But if you can, give us a like, thumbs up. We're at 20,200 subscribers here on GeForce TV. That is amazing. Let's get ourselves 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We can easily do that as long as you share the content, pass it along. Of course, tomorrow, Race Rivals Race Chat. You've got Oshwegan Speedway Racing, Little O on Thursday. And then, of course, normally you would have the Oshwegan Speedway Racing. I believe this weekend is Powwow, though, so I don't believe you're going to see that. This is round 2. Round 1 will be redone in September, Sam Moore tells me. So Oshwegan Speedway, I believe, I'm just double checking. I'm pretty sure it's Powwow weekend, though. Unless it's next weekend. I'm just checking, though. But Oshwegan Speedway typically is live broadcast on your Friday nights here on GeForce TV. Yes, it is Powwow weekend, so there's no racing at the Little O, I believe, as well. So no racing. But make sure that if you're going to go out to a racetrack this weekend, you go out and support. We need the people out there at the tracks as much as possible. Cam K, thank you to all my guests tonight. Ben Hodgson, Nick and Josh Clark, Paul Boundy, Mike Thompson, and Cole Camrath. Ollie Ferguson, we will rain check and get you on a future episode. We'll catch you back next week here on ONTrack Weekly. I've been your host, Cam K. Thanks for watching.